Welcome to GBCI Canada's video series, New COVID Guidance for your LEED O&M project. At the end of January, GBCI Canada led an interactive discussion about the challenges that project teams have faced due to COVID-19 and how the latest guidance provides a pathway to certification for all projects. This video will address high-level tips for navigating your project certification. See the other video in the series for guidance specific to each performance category. Project teams have been experiencing many challenges related to reduced occupancy and changes in operations since the pandemic began in March 2020. The main factor driving the pandemic's impact on LEED O&M projects is reduced occupancy, since scores in ARC use this metric to calculate all the performance scores and response rates for surveys. Together, the two videos in this series will provide solutions for these common challenges that your project might be facing. Over the past year, the guidance has been evolving to suit the changing pandemic situation. There are two key documents that have been released which provide a path to certification for all projects. The first document is a high-level guidance that provides allowances, and the second document is step-by-step ARC submittal instructions. The guidance boils down to two main pathways for projects impacted by COVID-19. Projects can use option 1 to generate a performance score based on data that predates the COVID-19 pandemic and is after January 1st, 2018. Option 2 includes outlined pathways to account for reduced occupancy during COVID-19, and there is detailed guidance for each performance category. It's important to note that the project can use a combination of option 1 and option 2, depending on the data that the project team has available. We'll talk more about how to select your project's reporting period in the next section about certification tips. One of the common questions many project teams are asking is how the guidance applies to annual reporting if the project is not submitting before June 2021. We understand that maintaining your annual data in ARC can be a challenge during this time. The data for energy and water performance should be maintained in ARC, and project teams are encouraged to provide annual data for other performance categories as much as possible. It's also important to maintain your project certification cycle and submit for certification on schedule. The latest guidance provides many options, and most project teams won't need extensions for their submissions. The guidance we're talking about is specific to LEED version 4.1 O&M projects using ARC for recertification or for certification. If you have questions about another LEED project, including LEED Canada, EBOM 2009, or LEED version 4 O&M, reach out to LEED Coach Canada and we'd be happy to help. The latest submittal guidance document has step-by-step instructions for indicating in ARC and LEED Online that the project has been impacted by COVID-19. The first step is to check the Impacted by COVID-19 checkbox in the building settings for your project in ARC. This will alert reviewers that the project is applying COVID-19 guidance and ensure that the transportation and occupant satisfaction survey response rates are calculated based on the occupancy on the date of the survey and not the full building occupancy. If the project is using option 2 for water and energy data, meaning that the project is using data impacted by COVID-19, it's important to follow the submittal guidance to ensure that ARC uses a time-weighted occupancy for these performance scores. You do so by selecting energy and water time-weighted occupancy as shown here. It is also important to update the building's occupancy to reflect occupancy changes throughout the 365-day reporting period. Significant changes in occupancy should be reflected in ARC data to ensure accurate performance scores. The time-weighted occupancy option will smooth over short-term disruptions and reflect annual average occupancy. Note that this time-weighted occupancy values change based on the day-to-day occupancy values entered in ARC. As you know, your project certification or recertification is based on a specific one-year time period referred to as the reporting period. The latest COVID-19 guidance allows for projects affected by COVID-19 to use different reporting periods for different performance categories, as long as the same one-year reporting period is used for water and energy performance scores. And this is the reporting period that you should select when submitting for certification. Remember that if a different one-year period is used for transportation performance, water performance, and/or indoor environmental quality performance, the period must end within 2 years of the reporting period established for energy and water. And all reporting periods must begin after January 1st, 2018. Projects submitting with multiple reporting periods will not be able to view their performance scores for all categories at one time. Each performance category score can be viewed separately under the Performance tab in ARC. These historical scores go back 12 months in ARC, and if you have ARC Essentials, you can see the performance score from a previous custom time period. However, if you need help understanding your project's final performance scores due to varying reporting periods, you can reach out to LEED Coach Canada and we can help. Detailed instructions for selecting the project's reporting period are also outlined in the submittal guidance. Please remember to provide a narrative with your submission under project information to clearly indicate the intended reporting period for each performance category. Once you have selected the reporting period on the Submit for Review page, you can see the time-weighted occupancy for the selected reporting period. That was the high-level tips for navigating your project certification. Check out the other video in the series for a closer look at guidance and solutions for the challenges specific to each performance category. Together, this guidance should provide solutions to any barriers your project might be facing. With the latest guidance, every project can complete annual reporting and submit for certification. We hope this was helpful. For more information, refer to the resources listed here. And for any questions or any issues specific to your project that have not been addressed, please reach out to LEED Coach Canada at leadcoach@gbcicanada.ca. Thanks for watching.